most Rishonim say that there is no Targum on Birchas Kohanim. We have it. And now the Targum Unkeles, there's a Targum. No, now the Targum says Yivarechinoch Hashem v'Yitrinach, etc. But the Reshonim say that there's no Targum. So it seems like it was added in afterwards in our Targum. And they say the Temoni Unkeles doesn't have a Targum. In the Yonosun it's even weird. It's even funnier. In the Yonosun it says Yivarech Hashem Yishmecha, Yer Hashem Panav Elach V'Chineki Yisa Hashem Panav Elach V'Yasem L'Chashalom, and then it says a Targum. That's what it says. Oh. So they say so there's a lot of different pshatim there's a lot of different pshatim where that comes from. But it would seem like all the Reshonim say, all the Reshonim, there's the Itim, the Shibbolei Leket, the Talmidei Bnei Yoina in Brachos, they all say that there's no Targum on Targum. There's no Targum on these psukim. So it would seem like it was added in afterwards. Like you find a lot of times, like by Ataras V'Divain, the Gemara says that Ataras V'Divain Chayv Al Mashman Parshas Matzibur Shnayim B'Kerech Targum. That's the Gemara in Brachos I want to talk about. Afilu Ataras V'Divain. Rashi says Ataras V'Divain. What do you mean? Afilu Ataras V'Divain. Rashi explains because Ataras V'Divain ain't by Targum. It's a pasuk. Ataras V'Divain is a pasuk of all the lands that Klal Yisrael was kovish in Erei Yad and in Mates or Masei, and by us it does have a Targum. Now the pshat is that they added it in afterwards. So that's for sure that it seems like Targum was not as, at least our Kabbalah in the Targum is not as they weren't so exacting to get the original Nusach, and therefore they changed it. So just like over there they changed it, over here also they put it in. People wanted to know the Taich. They didn't have art scroll, so and it seems like that the Targum was the vernacular, that was the language that people spoke, so they knew that. So they put in a Targum for Targum Unkeles by us for Birchas Kohanim, and even in the Yonosun they left it in, and then afterwards they put in the Targum. Why is there no Targum in Birchas Kohanim? So the pshat that they say is because the Reshonim say that there's a Gemara in Megillah, the Gemara in Megillah Daf Chafei Aleph says, it's a Mishnah that says that some sukkim are nikroim v'lem Targumin, and Rashi explains over there the reason is because since it says Yisa Hashem Panav Elecha, and Yisa Hashem Panav Elecha is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we ask at least the bracha is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu should find favor, some sort of a special treatment. So we don't want anyone to hear that. And there's a Gemara in Brachos. The Gemara in Brachos is that the Malchi Asharis asked HaKadosh Baruch Hu, why should Klal Yisrael get extra treatment? Kurif was after Malchi Asharis, then it's more of a reason to put in Targum, right? They don't know Targum, but it seems like the Goyim were also upset about this, and therefore we don't have Targum. Nobody knows that there's no Targum on Birchas Kohanim. Yeah, so that's what do we do by psukim that don't have Birchas Kohanim? Or that don't have Targum? What do you do L'gabi Shnayim B'Kerech Targum? Yeah, so that's the Gemara in Brachos, and that's very interesting Gemara. The Gemara says, this is the whole source of Shnayim B'Kerech Targum. The whole source of Shnayim B'Kerech Targum is one Gemara. Daf Chesam Aleph says like this. A person should finish up his parashas with the tzibur. Shnayim B'Kerech Targum. Ve'afilu Ataras V'Divain. So Rashi explains, and then the Gemara says, "Shekol Amashlim Parshas Matzibur Marichan LaYom B'Shnei." So he gets Arichas Yom if he does Shnayim B'Kerech Targum. So Rashi says, "What's this? Vafilu Ataras V'Divain. Ataras V'Divain should also be Mekayim Shnayim B'Kerech Targum." Rashi says that Ataras V'Divain is aimed by Targum. That's what we spoke about. That Ataras V'Divain is a pasuk that it's a list of cities, so it doesn't have any word in there that's Targum. Right? Sometimes you have a pasuk that let's say Uvnei Dan Chushim, right? So Uvnei Dan Chushim could have a Uvenei is a taich, right? Or whatever it is. There's a lot of psukim that have one or two words that are meturgum. But a pasuk of just Ataras V'Divan is just city after city after city, and names are generally not meturgum in Targum Unkeles. So therefore, there's no. So what's the basic pshat in this Gemara? That you have to do Shnayim Mikra Targum, and even Ataras V'Divan. Even Ataras V'Divan what? Even at Targum Yonosun, you have to say, you have to lane that pasuk twice or three times. The chiyuv is Shnayim Mikra Ve'echad Targum, right? Shnayim Mikra. So I do the Shnayim Mikra. There is no Targum here.
What's the point of the Targum?
What's the point in the Targum? Very good. So therefore, very good, very good. So Kipshutai, you would say that at any pasuk that doesn't have Targum, there's only two psukim. There's only Shnayim Mikra. There's no Targum. And there are Reshonim. The Rosh brings down like that, and the Binyan, they bring down such a shita. But they both bring down Rashi and Tosfus that's for sure not the pshat. No, Ataras V'Divan Shei Targum, you say it a third time. So there's two questions. First of all, what's the point? What's the point? If the chiyuv is Shnayim Mikra Ve'echad Targum, so what's the point in that one that third repetition of the pasuk? And more importantly, where do they see it? Where do they see it? It says, and somehow they saw in that they should do it three times, Mikra. Where'd they get that from? Yeah? A very basic kasha. There is a machlokes, Rashi and Tosfus, what we'll do in a place like Ataras V'Divan. That in Ataras V'Divan is a pasuk that doesn't have Targum Yishalmi. Doesn't have Targum Unkeles, but it has Targum Yishalmi. So should you say the three psukim in just Mikra, just say the pasuk over three times repeat, or should you say two psukim in Mikra and the third pasuk since it's Targum Yishalmi, let's chaper in the Targum Yishalmi. That's a machlokes Rashi and Tosfus. But both Rashi and Tosfus hold that in a pasuk that doesn't have either. What's a good marshal for that? A good marshal for that would be Yivarecha Hashem v'Yishmerecha, like we have in this week's parsha. That at least the Targum that we have in front of us doesn't seem to be. It could be it's also to say even. Another good marshal would be in the beginning of Shmois. The pasuk lists all the Elu Shmois Bnei Yaakov Abayim Mitzrayim. So it says Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda. Over there, that's exact. Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda is exactly the same, right? There's no letter that's different in the Targum than in the pasuk. So that will be the same question over there. So that's over in such a pasuk. There's no machlokes Rashi and Tosfus. Clearly, there's no option of going Targum Yishalmi, and both Rashi and Tosfus hold it has to be the three psukim of Mikra. So the question is, why? What's the point? And also, where they see it in the Gemara. Right. That's the shayla. I want to go one step deeper, and I want to know what is the Makar for Shnayim Mikra Ve'echad Targum. It's one Gemara. There's some people, this is their whole Torah a whole week, right? Where's the Makar? What's the Makar for Shnayim Mikra Ve'echad Targum? What's the Makar b'chol? And besides that, I want to know, what's the Taicha word? Lo'ilam yashlam odem parshiyosav ematzibur. What does it mean he should finish up his parshas? He should complete his parshas. What does that mean? What's the definition? What's the yashlam odem parshiyosav ematzibur Shnayim Mikra Ve'echad Targum? So I want to say a massive chiddush. Could be come out of small enough to also la halacha. And if you say this pshat, I think we'll at least understand Rashi and Tosfus. The Reshonim that hold that tak in a pasuk that doesn't have targum, you don't have to say that they won't be learning like this. But Yashlam Adam Parshas Naso means like this. We know that the derech HaTorah of Mikra was, and there's many chazal on this, and this was the derech all over. Just like when Moshe Rabbeinu learned the Torah the first time, when he taught it to Aaron and when he taught it to Klal, so Mikra was always learned 4 times. It was always learned 4 times. That was the derech of Limina Mikra. We have Lagabi about Kaira, we have it all the time. Mikra is always learned 3 times when it's learned the first time. So the Gemara, just pasha regular Limina Torah. Oilam Yashlam Odom Parshi Yosav Imatzibur. That means like this. With the part we're learning Kriyas HaTorah now. We're learning Parshas Naso this week. So adding to that, you should do the other three limudim of Parshas Naso. Not just we lane one betzibur, and together with the tzibur we have another 3 limudim. 2 of them will be mikra, and one of them you'll do targum. Because we know that everything's never b'chol lashon. We know that all Torah accepts things that it says mefurish that you're not allowed to do b'chol lashon. You do b'chol lashon. You could do b'chol lashon. You could even say kriya shema b'chol lashon, etc. It's a whole right. All anything that we have a chiyuv to say, you could do b'chol lashon. Zokti Gemara. This is not. It's not a new halacha like kilo. It's coming from. It's a new kseres hakosiv. This is limud Torah. So you have limud Torah. We do kriyas Torah, which is one time, and then the other 3 times you do privately. You do shnaya mikra, and the 4th time is targum. So that's your 4 That's your 4 kriyas. That's your 4 times you're learning this pasuk. A person should always complete his parsha that the learning betzibur. You shouldn't do it only.
Where's the source of 4? What was that?
So the source of 4 is regularly limud Torah.
Where do you get that from?
There's many Gemaras. There's a Gemara in Eruvin, there's a Gemara in Megillah, there's Gemaras all over that Mikra is always that Mikra is always learned 4 times. Was always learned 4 times. It was always that's the derech that it was learned. So the way you complete a limud Mikra is by learning it 4 times. So that's the taich of the word lo'olam yashlam odem parshas. So that's how that's part of the taich of the word yashlam odem parshas matziba. The word yashlam odem parshas matziba means finish up the unfinished kriya that was just done in shul. You complete it by doing the other three times, repeating that parsha another 3 times, twice mikra, and 1 time targum. So now it's not shver b'chal. If that's the taich of Lo'olam Yashlam Odem Parshas Matzibur, which means to finish up the kriya another 3 times, so then it's obvious I feel Torah Sodivan that in a place where there's Ein Targum you do a 3rd time. Of course you do it a 3rd time mikra because the ikka halacha was that you're supposed to do 4 times. You're supposed to be mashlam odem parashas matzibur shnei mikra. You're supposed to be mashlam odem parashas matzibur. That was the ikka halacha was it was supposed to be 4 times. If the halacha was that it's supposed to be 4 times, that's the ikka halacha and that's the whole source. So then it's not shver. We're Rashi and Tosfus and all the Reshonim. That's how we paskin. It's supposed to be 4 times, right? And he'll come out.
According to that,
this will be what?
According to that, you can do like 1 mikra, 3 targum, whatever. You can like play around.
Right, right, true, and that's probably anyways true. But true, and right, but for sure. But what's the most what's the biggest nafkamin is a lot of people by b'shas kriyas Torah they read along with the chazan and they want to chap around. That should be one. They're chapping a hitch with the Bal Kaira that 1 time he's laning, and they're also reading this way. They're chapping around Shnayim Mikra Targum. That's 1 time, and they figure that here there's a chiyuv of Kriyas Torah. I happen to be there present, being Mekayim Kriyas Torah. I'm going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone while I'm listening to Kriyas Torah. I'm going to also do a Shnayim Mikra Targum. I'm going to get my first kriya right now. But if he's there, it's that would mamish be missing the boat because I have to get besides the kriya in shul, I have to get another shnai mikra targum on top of the kriya in the shul. That would come out nafkamina for sure. If this would be the pshat in the Lo'olam Yashlam Odem Parshas Matzibur. It'll be negated this week. I mean, I'm not, but this week for those that are gonna. B'shas Shnayim Mikra Targum. You have to remember that there's a Rebbeinu. A lot of Reshonim say that this is not our Targum. Okay, the fact that it's not our Targum is not the end of the world. You're allowed to use Lo Yazois. So all the Reshonim talk about, you're allowed to use other Targums. You're allowed to use other Targums to be Mekayim Shnayim Mikra Targum. But over here it would seem that the Rebbeinu and those Rishonim hold that there was a Bezundra Hakpada, there was a specific halacha that you're not supposed to say Targum. So if you're not supposed to say Targum, you should have to say Yerech Hashem 3 times. You should have to say, besides, on top of the Shnai Mikra, you would have to lane this pasuk. In other words, the Bakar will lane it once, and then we'll have another 3 times. For that, it's not the end of the world because we all say it anyway. You say it anyway. You say it in the morning. You say it at night. So you chapter around the Shnai Mikra Targum. So if you're doing Shnai Mikra Targum, could be that you don't have to worry about the chapping around the Rebbeinu. But this will be the pshat in where Rashi got from this. The Shnai Mikra Targum. The Shnai Mikra Targum is in the Ikka Halach of Shnai Mikra Targum is to say it 4 times, and once and if it has Targum. So if it has Targum. So Chazal is saying that once you're doing the Shnai Mikra, once you're doing the 4 times, the 4th time you should do it with Targum. This way you know what you're talking about. But it's not. That's an added halacha. That's an added thing. But the ikka halacha is that you're supposed to be mashlam Parshas Yosef, which means you're supposed to lay with the tzibur 4 times